Getting into piano block isn't fun. Getting into a creative block isn't fun. Maybe you're playing the same thing over and over and over again. Maybe you took two tricks that you learned and you're adding it to the song and you're tired of it. Maybe you're just feeling stuck in life. Well, that was me. And that is me from time to time. But let me take you back to a story in the summer of 2018. I had just learned how to apply a couple of advanced beginner concepts to some songs, and I was playing them and I was feeling myself. I played those songs, and how many songs I learned? There were two songs. I played those songs over and over and over again, and it got to a point where my girlfriend at the time, now my wife, said it was getting old. Yikes. Confidence killer. But I digress. I played those songs over and over again to a point where I felt stuck. I felt like I couldn't learn anything else. I felt like there was nothing else for me to learn out of those songs. And because that's all I played and that's all I knew, I didn't know what else to do. And it was that feeling of being stuck that drove me to get help. In this video, I'm going to talk about a few things that you can do to get out of a creative block or a piano block, as I call it. I'm going to get my notes out and we're going to talk about this because it's quite an extensive list. Maybe not too extensive, but enough for me to need notes. So the first thing is check your plan, right? Did you fall off? Did you fall off your plan, or did you stick to it? And so usually what I mean by check your plan, people fall into two categories. The first category is you don't have a plan at all. And I fell into that first category. I did not have a plan at all. And because I didn't have a plan, I did not have a framework of reference to look at whenever I felt stuck or whenever I got stuck. If you have that feeling of aimlessness, having a plan can solve a lot. I would say 70% of that issue. No, I would say 85 to 90% of that issue of feeling stuck or having that piano block. And the reason being is because you have a clear blueprint. You have at the end of that plan where you want to be, and all the steps in the plan are the steps you need to take and your journey that you need to take along the way. And so I highly recommend, if you don't have a plan at all, write a plan, create a plan. And the second category is the people who stopped looking at their plan. Literally, for the reasons stated before, is because of the fact that you stopped looking at your plan. I stopped looking at my plan, that I felt lost. If you look at your plan and you've been practicing some of the same things, or you feel stuck, you look at your plan and you realize that you stayed stuck on that one topic, look to the next topic. Take all the things you learned from before, look at the next topic and combine it together, and now you're gonna get into feeling like you're progressing again. So that's number one. The second thing is to switch things up. Play something different. There were countless times where I felt stuck in the same genre, or I felt stuck in the same songs, and I was like, let me switch it up. Let me play something different. And so I played a completely different genre. I played a chord progression that I found online, right? That was still within the framework of what I wanted to learn. And I switched things up and I was able to play them, and it was able to get me unstuck because it was something new. How this can be applicable is in your practice exercises. If there is a more fun way to practice a specific foundational concept, do that. It can take your mind off of endless droning on of, okay, we're gonna do this again, we're gonna play scales again or arpeggios again. Play it with your repertoire, incorporate it into your chord progressions. Whatever it is that you need to do to switch things up so that you can take your mind off of that feeling of being stuck. Number 3, study the greats in your field. I have spent countless hours listening to a myriad of piano players and musicians. And the reason being is because I get inspired by those folks. 1 and 2, I gotta study them. And one of the things you can do is take whatever it is that you like specifically about that artist, about that piano player, a specific lick, specific run, a specific chord, and take it and apply it to your chord progression, practice it, learn it so that you can be able to play it. I did this specifically with one chord. There was a performance that Marvin Gaye did. He was playing some chords and monologuing before he sang his song, What's Going On? And while he was monologuing, he's playing these chords, and I love those chords. It was amazing. I'm listening to it and I'm like, bruh. While he's talking as well, mind blown. And there's a specific chord that I kept hearing that I was like, what is that chord? I've heard it before, but it sounds beautiful in this progression. I kept listening, trial and error led me to a specific voicing of A minor 9 chord. To this day, I use that chord to play in my progressions. I use that specific voicing. Why? Because I love it and it sounds amazing. It may be that one thing that you take from them, but it can help you get unstuck. I've listened to Corey Henry, Robert Glasper, Nat King Cole. He used to play piano. So people, not only the greats in your field, but people who truly inspire you as well, they can do that. And there's this thing called the Glasper chords people are talking about, and he plays specific voicings and specific extended chords, and I'm like, bruh, I didn't know you could play it that way. Studying the greats in your field can really inspire you and pull you out of that feeling of being stuck. It gives you a frame of reference for a goal, right? You don't want to be exactly like them. You'll never be exactly like them, but you can draw inspiration from them and study them. The fourth thing, seek advice from a trusted friend or mentor. There's two types of people you want to seek advice from. Really one type, and I'll break this down. The first type, a mentor in your field, a coach. You sit down with them and you say, hey, these are my plans. This is what I want to do. What are your thoughts on it? Or this is what I'm specifically practicing. What's your guidance on it? And the reason why you want to go to a coach or a mentor or somebody that is further along in the path that you want to be in is because that's who you need advice from. There's so many haters out there. I have this quote that I wrote down. I'm gonna read it to you guys, and this will sum things up. Don't listen to someone who can't help you grow from a technical perspective. You will always have haters and people that can tear you down, but very rarely can you find someone to tear you down and give you the framework and materials you need to build you back up stronger. So many people will give you a negative critique, but how many people can give you a critique and say, here's how to do it better. Here's how to grow and become better because of it. Not a lot of people. You want to take that specific advice from specific people, and the people who know what they're doing are the people that you want to take advice from if you want to grow in this specific, whatever it is specifically. And then also the second person, somebody completely unrelated, which is why I say a trusted friend, somebody completely unrelated to what you're doing. Why? Because they can give you a different perspective that can inspire you or lead you to a different thought process. I call it a hype man. I spent years playing certain chord progressions, playing songs a certain way, and I would talk to my friends, what'd you think of this? Speak to my wife, hey, what do you think of how I'm playing this? And they may not know, but they're like, oh, I like how that sounded. Or, nah, go back to the drawing board. You need to try it again, right? Maybe something different. And that's okay. That's who you're looking to gain some advice from or gain a different perspective from. So that's one big thing. Number 4. Number 5, do something that inspires you / study other forms of art. This is a big one. It's probably one of my most favorite ones. Let's talk about things that can inspire you in the realm of music for a short moment. Instead of just listening to that specific song, listen to a different rendition or arrangement of that song. Maybe there's a live version. Maybe there is an orchestral version. Maybe there is an NPR Tiny Desk concert version. There are many artists that I listen to that have an NPR Tiny Desk that whenever that comes up, I'm like, oh shoot, that artist did it. I need to listen to it. And it is always a good time and it is inspiring. Very rarely has it been something of a letdown. I don't know, there's just something about a live version of my favorite song or a good song that gives you a different perspective and can inspire you as well. There is a specific NPR Tiny Desk concert that I love. It is Mac Miller's, and he has the 2009, that intro that he plays with the violins and everything, and he plays that, and that is something that I remember to this day, and I will listen to. Whenever I think of it, I pull it up and I listen to it because it's specific and it's interesting to hear. Other things you can do, read. You can go to a forest preserve. You can take a walk in nature, right? You can also go to plays, go to musicals, go and watch something live as well, a live concert. That's something you can do. Another thing is movie soundtracks. I love the Interstellar soundtrack. That movie is amazing. The Cornfield Chase, that song is phenomenal. And it's viral. It's been on TikTok for years now. People use it all the time. There's another song from a movie soundtrack, If Beale Street Could Talk. It's called Agape by Nicholas Britell. I love that song as well. I played it at my wedding. There are different places where you can draw inspiration from for your music, for your piano block or your creative block that can help you in the short term to get to where you want to go. And then here we have the sixth and final thing, which is connect with the Creator. I believe in Jesus, and one verse in the Bible that I love to go back to is 1 Peter 5:7, which says, "Cast your cares upon the Lord because he cares for you." Taking a step back and looking at this in bigger context, it's talking about in that chapter submitting to God. And whenever I submit whatever it is on my mind to God, I'm able to clear my head and look at things from a different perspective. This is what submitting to God looks like for me. I write down my plan, I say a prayer, and I give my plan to God. I say, Lord God, I pray that you guide my footsteps. I commit my plan to you. I submit my plan to you, and I pray that you guide my footsteps. Change whatever needs to be changed. I pray for favor. I pray that you open doors for me, and I pray, God, that what your will be done in all things that I do as I move forward. I say that, so I pray, I listen, and I meditate. I meditate on his words, because they're just like that verse that I said earlier. God cares for me, and there are a myriad of things that he says in his word that encourage me as his child, and that help me to see things from a different perspective, and that can get me out of that creator's block. And so there you have it, folks, my list of things that you can do in order to get out of that piano block or creator's block. Let me know down in the comments below what works for you. Please like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next video. Thanks.